guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jordan. If you're new here, today's video is going to be my best of 2022 beauty products. So if you're interested in all the products that I chose, then keep on watching. Alright guys, so happy new year. It is a new year. We're going to be talking about products that came out last year. Now you guys, I know this video is a little late. It's the 4th day of the month as I'm filming this. But you guys, let me tell you how. Just a little TMI. My period decided that it wanted to come the first day of the year, first day of the week, first day of the month. Like, excuse me. So I've been going through it, okay? Just a heads up. I don't even feel good right now, but we are trying to be lively. We are filming so that we can get this content out to you guys. Now, I don't have a lot here because I feel like I've been using a lot of the same things over and over and over and over and over again, even though I feel like I bought a lot of stuff. But the stuff that I decided that I really love are continuous, and I feel like you will know this. So we're gonna start off with complexion because that is what I love. Foundations are like everything to me. I have to try all of them, so we're gonna talk about that. So foundations, I don't even remember if this came out last year or not, but I do believe it did. This is the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation. Amazing. It came out last year, right? Yeah, it came out at the beginning of the year. So good. So good. I think that they did a really good job with this foundation. It is a nice natural finish. It looks very smooth on the skin, like very perfecting, but not like you have makeup on. And that's what I really like about this foundation. Normally when I talk about foundations, that's what I'm going to say. They look natural, but perfected at the same time. So I might be a little repetitive, but that's what I like in a foundation. Beautiful. The shade that I wear is Macao. I do feel like they have, even though it's a good shade range, they have room for improvement with the undertones because Nars tends to run a little warm. So just keep a heads up with that. But I do think that Macao fits me pretty well. And I really love this foundation. They did a really amazing job with this. Next on foundation, Makeup Forever Ultra HD. They did a good job on this Ultra HD Skin. They changed it. So they reformulated the HD foundation. Once again, I think this is the 3rd variation of what that foundation should be, the HD Skin. The shade that I have is 4N68. The one thing that I will say about this foundation, so very similar to the Nars Perfecting Smooth Natural Finish, is that the colors, again, need a little work. The undertones do kind of skip around a little bit. I think that the description of the undertones are quite on point, but they just need a little bit more in like the deeper range. And I know it's hard to do that, but Makeup Forever, I feel like they are kind of like complexion authority and they can get it right. They can get it right. So this formula is beautiful. I think it looks really smooth on the skin, but I wish they had better colors. That's the only thing that I would say. But again, very smooth, very natural looking, very perfecting. I like it. Now this foundation came at the end of the year, but I think this foundation surprised a lot of us that it ended up being a favorite. Like, I don't know what they put in this, but Haus, the TRICLONE Skin Tech Foundation. Wow. Again, perfecting, so smooth, so beautiful, nice and glowy. I love this foundation. I think this color is perfect for me. This is, what is your shade? Foundation? Child, I can't read. I think it's 480. I think it's 480. I think it looks really good on my complexion. It's like very neutral, but not neutral flat, where it kind of just meshes in with my overall tone. If you guys are familiar with my channel, if you are not, let me just explain how I match my foundations. My overall tone is very warm. As you can see, I'm more yellow. My face leans a little bit more neutral. But if I go very neutral on my face, it tends to make me look dull, so I kind of warm my face up a little bit so that everything meshes a little bit more. We have different tones and variations in our skin, so that is what I do in order to have everything mesh overall. So if you understand that, then you know that I tend to lean more to warmer, more yellow foundations. But this neutral works really well on my skin, and I feel like it's not too flat. So I really like that. But that foundation, I feel like a lot of people can fit into numerous shades. So keep that in mind. If you are close to my skin tone and you haven't tried that foundation but you want to, go in store. They sell it at Sephora. If you have a Sephora near you that sells Haus, go into the store so that you can match your shades because there's different shades that you can fit in. So just keep that in mind. But other than that, I think the foundation is beautiful. It is long wearing, very, very pretty. high medium coverage, not too full. It looks pretty skin like, so I really like that. I wanted to keep it at 3, but I don't think that I could have left this foundation out, so I wanted to mention it. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Foundation, the serum foundation. I have it in the shade 18G. Beautiful, again, glowy, perfecting. This is a high medium to full coverage, so you can get full coverage from it, but it's very perfecting. At first I wasn't like with the squeezy tube aspect of the foundation, but as you can see, I've used quite a bit. I like it now. It makes sense, and it is refillable, so you don't have to buy a whole new component again. You can just buy the refillable area and just twist it on, and you're good to go. But that foundation is beautiful. It looks really good on the skin. So yeah, that's it for foundations. For concealers, we gotta be real. We gotta be real. All right, so Sephora collection, best skin ever. I feel like I just kept using that ever since it came out. I really love this concealer. I love it a lot. So I have 2 shades in it, 50 neutral, 53.5 neutral. Full coverage, multi-use. You can use it as a foundation if you want to. I just feel like it wears really well under my eyes. It doesn't crease for me. It's very perfect and very smooth. I don't think it's overly matte. It's more of a natural finish to me. It's not overly luminous, which is really good. I really like that concealer, but I am going to add another one. I'm going to add another one because I do like this concealer. The Dior Backstage Concealer in 5W. I like this concealer a lot too. Same concept, full coverage, buildable. When it comes to my concealers, I prefer more of a full coverage concealer because it really works for my under eye. But even though I want my complexion to look natural, my under eyes need some coverage. So full coverage it is for concealers. So the Dior Backstage is good too. But if you want more of a natural looking concealer, a more medium coverage concealer, then the LYS Triple Fix concealer is really good too. I have 2 shades. I have DG6 and DG3. DG6 is my perfect complexion, so if like I'm going for an everyday look or I just want to put concealer under my eye, I will go for this concealer and then top it if I want to highlight with the lighter shade. But for real, ever since the Sephora came out, I have been sticking to that one. But these are good concealers. I do want to mention, I wouldn't say it's like my overall favorite because I layer it, but the Bobbi Brown Skin Full Cover Concealer, really good, by the way. But it ain't really in the contender right now. All right, what's next? It's a complexion product, but not necessarily concealer or foundation, but I think you guys know that I'm going to mention this. The Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. What did she put in this? I think this is the most innovative, useful product that came out last year, for real. Like, let's talk about it. It makes your skin look very smooth. You don't need a lot at all, by the way. It makes your skin look very smooth. It gives you additional coverage. You can use it by itself. You can use it over your foundation, under your foundation. You can use it as a primer. She has a universal color and then she has tones to it. You can use it as a bronzer, concealer. Very useful product. So I think that a lot of people get use from this. I have 8 for my complexion. I just really put a little bit like here sometimes if I want a little bit more mattification. Is that a word? Mattifying effect on my skin to help with oil control. I really liked it during the summer. Now that it's like cold, wintertime, I don't use it as much because I have drier skin and it is more of a mattifying effect, but perfected as well. And then this one I really use a lot. This is shade 10. I use it as a bronzer. I like the tone of it. It's a neutral tone, but it works really well to give me the nice warmth on the skin and definition and additional coverage. So definitely one of like the best products that came out last year. Alright, since we're talking about kind of like cream bronzers, the next one that I want to mention is this one, the Nars Laguna cream bronzer. I personally like. This is in the shade number 4. And as you can see, like, this is really the one that I use. Truly, this is what I use all the time. So this is definitely a favorite. I think it's very good. I like the finish of it. It dries down to a soft matte on the skin, so it's long wearing. No sheen to it at all. Beautiful. That's going to be it. Because I got to be real. That's really what I use. So those 2 for cream bronzers. I do like dabble here and there other stuff, but those I would say if I was gonna pack a makeup bag to go somewhere, those would be the ones that I would grab, you know? And I have a lot of makeup, so yeah. Let's talk about powders. We're gonna stick with my usual. I think I mentioned this the year before, but this is Christian Dior's cushion powder in the shade Deep. Not gonna go into it too much. It is a mattifying powder, but it's not overly drying on the skin. Very smooth on my complexion, which I like. It does not give me any flashback. I think the color is pretty good. Very blurring. Beautiful. Next, Laura Mercier. Now, who would have thought I would have liked a Laura Mercier powder? I am very picky when it comes to powders because I have normal to dry skin. And I don't want the powder to mattify me too much, but I still want it to be long wearing. So it's like, girl, you are picky. What do you want? You want it to be long wearing, but you don't want it to mattify your skin? Like, let's make it make sense. But you know, I have normal to dry skin. I'm gonna keep saying that. So I don't want it to be overly dry. I don't want it to look like I have powder on my skin. But I want you to be blurring. And I want you to be smooth. And I want you to keep my makeup in place. So I felt like this did what it had to do. It is talc free. So it's not as like heavy as the original translucent powder from Laura Mercier. It is the Ultra Blur powder, by the way. And I have it in Deep. I feel like it is very blurring, as the name states. And it's not overly drying at all, but still keeps the shine down, which I like about it a lot. Not me spilling powder all over myself. Alright, so next powder is Haus Labs. One more Haus Labs product. This is the sun blurring powder, bio blurring loose setting powder. Whoa, again, very smooth. Does not look like you have powder on your face, but the only thing I will say is not as oil controlling as those other two powders that I mentioned. It is undetectable. It does not look like you have any powder on your skin at all. So if that's what you're looking for, I think you will like that powder a lot. But if you want a little bit more oil controlling properties, then go for one of the other twos. So yeah. Last but not least, for powder, Charlotte Tilbury, my girl Charlotte, came out with this Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finish powder. I love it. I love this powder so much. This is in Tan Deep. If I wanted a little bit more brightness to my under eye, best believe I would be grabbing this powder and just tapping it on. I think it looks so pretty. There is a bit of like a mica in it that gives a nice sheen to the skin. So if you don't want that, that's what it looks like. If you don't want that for your under eyes, then you might not like it. But I like it. I think it looks really pretty. And then it just brightens my under eyes without being ashy. I think it's so pretty. It looks so good. And I love that. And yes, I'm so glad they have refills because I'm definitely going to be going through that. I like it a lot. Alright, so is that it for powders? Yeah. That's it for powders. I didn't really use a lot of powder bronzers in 2022. I really stuck to cream, if I'm being honest, because I like the way that it looks on my complexion. But if I was to talk about a powder bronzer, and I feel like I spoke about it the year before as well, I would stick with, because I just want to mention it, the Colored Rain matte bronzer in Naughty Spice. Really good. Yeah, this one I would definitely pack in like my makeup bag to go. All the other ones right now, I'm just like, y'all here, but I'm really like leaning into cream, if I'm being honest. Alright, so let's talk about blushes now. So, ooh, I love this blush. This is the Gucci. Which blush is this called? Blush de Beauté? Anyway, and Warm Berry. So that's what the color looks like. Oh my gosh. Fell in love with this the moment I put it on my skin. The blendability is beautiful. It just glides on the skin so well. So well. Love the color on my complexion as well. I do feel like they have room for improvement with the shades, but the formula, impeccable. So good. Alright, and then next, LYS Satin Matte Blush. This is Inspire, but any one of the Satin Matte blushes definitely would recommend. Formula wise, it is a very good cream blush. It goes on pretty creamy, very pigmented, but dries down and just stays all day. Beautiful. Beautiful. I think I talked about this last year as well, but I will keep reiterating that I love this blush. The Armani Neo Nude blush in 45, just the formula as well. It's a melting color balm. It's a multi-use product, but the formula, it just glides on. It is really nice and I love it a lot. So yeah, I would also say the Patrick Ta Major Headlines. So this is the palette, but they have them individual, like duos now. So This is really good. So glad that he expanded the shade range. So if you guys are interested in any cream powder formula, this is a good one to try. Okay, so for eyeshadows, I really don't have a lot because I feel like I use the same thing all the time. So, and I feel like this was probably in, I don't know when I bought this, but the Colored Rain eyeshadow palette. This is the Rebellious Nudes eyeshadow palette. Oh my god, I love this thing. So good. Look. Neutral warm tones, and then these shimmers. It's just 3 shimmers, but I'm telling you, the variety of looks that you can get from this one palette alone, even though it's neutral, amazing. Love it. Love it. She did so good with this. Color Rain is coming out with Foundation 6, you guys. Y'all know I'm gonna be first in line to pick that up. First in line to pick that up. I cannot wait for it to come out. Alright, so next for eyeshadow palettes. Natasha Denona, my dream palette. Love the color story of this palette. I think that it was a good choice. Makes sense. This is her ideal palette. I love the tones. You have the mauves, the warmer tones, neutrals. It's like a warm, cool situation. This is such a good palette. Oh my god. A great everyday, travel, smoky, whatever you need to do with this palette. She did a really good job with this. The formula is really good too. Blends really well. Really, really well. Mothership 10 from Auntie Pat. Again, I love this palette. It was more of like a neutral cool tone situation, and I really liked how this looked. The shimmers were beautiful. I like the tones that she chose for the matte shades too. Just an overall good palette. I think this is also like one of your closer like everyday palettes that you could use from Auntie Pat, because the motherships tend to be like a little bit of wow, like kabow for most people. So I think that like the typical makeup consumer would enjoy this mothership, even though it has those astral shades, but still you can have your everyday looks from it as well. So yeah, that was a really good mothership that she came out with. All right, and then last but not least, you know I gotta talk about her. Danessa Myricks. Danessa Myricks, girl, she is just like killing it. I feel like she came out with the best products last year. Lightworks 4. Transcendent palette. You guys, this palette is the palette of all palettes. It is everything that you freaking need. Oh my god. I love it so much. You can do so much with it. You can create those avant-garde looks with all the dual chromes, the shimmer, the textures, and then you can just go in with your neutral brown and black and pop one of these colors on your lids, and it just, you look like you did something. You know, I love it. So good. She did a really good job with this one. And I will charge her this forever because I love this palette. It is so good. So for lip products, I feel like you change your lips depending on the look. But I just want to mention these because, whoa. I'm not going to grab all of them. But the Lip Bar, the sheer lip glosses, that's it. That's really all I wore. Ever since they came out, this is what I've been wearing all the time. I am so impressed by this formula. I love it. It's pigmented, but at the same time, overly shiny. Woo. It just gives your lip a nice like pow. Every time I wear it, everybody wants to know what I have on my lips. I have all 6 shades, and I think that formula is beautiful, and that's all I'm going to talk about when it comes to lips. Because for real, I just change the lipstick and put one of those lip glosses on top and call it a day. Like really, that's what I do. All right, and then for mascara, now I think I mentioned it. I did throw away a couple of tubes because they were old, you guys. So from what I remember, the Gucci Le Obscure, I still have that mascara, was one of my favorites. I really like this a lot. Volume, length, separation, it's not clumpy at all, so I really like how that wore. The Item Beauty Lash Stack, really love that for bottom lashes. Length as well, not necessarily volume, but length, it's really good for that. The Lash Snack has a really small brush, so it's really good for grabbing all those hairs, so this is a really good one. Item Beauty, who's that, Addison Rae, like the TikToker? But she didn't do too bad with that mascara, and it's pretty affordable too. And then, even though I just tried it, I love this. The Lip Bar Big Timer mascara. This did what it needed to do. This is really good. I like this a lot. So that's it for mascaras. For brows, I use the same thing. Gucci, Stylo, Sourcils. I buy my backups of those. Patrick Ta Major Brow Lamination Gel. I also really like the Haus Labs brow pencil, the Edge Precision Brow Pencil. That one is really good. It's almost done. It's right here somewhere, but I don't feel like rifling through all of those. So those, and the new Patrick Ta brow pencil. Those three I would recommend for what I really used. Setting spray, the usual Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Polish Finish setting spray. Really was that girl. And the Hourglass setting spray is pretty good too. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Just the overall roundup of what I've really been loving. Even though I tried a lot of products, like, we gotta be real. Like, what did I grab all the time? What did I use all the time? These are the products that I used all the time. So you guys, please let me know in the comments down below what products you loved that came out last year. Let me know what you're interested in seeing this year, like innovation wise. Like, what do you want to see from these brands? Like, hopefully they give it to us. Like, what do you want to see different? What are you looking forward to? And so far with all the makeup releases, it's only the 4th day of the year, but I feel like we've had a lot of announcements. What are you interested in seeing that's coming out? Charlotte Tilbury came out with highlighters. I picked a few of those up. Mario has foundation. I have that on today. Dior has on new concealer. I have that on today as well. Who else has new products? Urban Decay is coming out with a concealer. Do you want to see that? Coloring is coming out with a foundation. Do you want to see that? Anybody coming out with eyeshadows? Not that I can think of right now. But we have a lot of Lunar Day releases as well. So are you interested in any of that as well? I am going to pick and choose the items that I want to try. Like I mentioned, lately I've just been picking like what's really like drawn into me, not really buying everything. So things that I'm like, yeah, I know I'm gonna like that, so I'm gonna pick it up. So that's how I'm really going about my makeup nowadays. But yeah, let me know, you guys, down in the comments down below. But everything that I talked about today hopefully will be in the description box down below. If you are new here, hi, I am Jordan. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up because it helps me out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.